The KeysDAN Show. It's the KeysDAN Show. I need a news theme for the KeysDAN Show. You might hear news. You might learn stuff. You never know what you're going to get on the KeysDAN Show. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's up, party people? It's KeysDAN with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, KeysDAN.com. Coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What Studios. And this is my podcast, my weekly roundup, the KeysDAN Show. You know, it's in addition to the other two podcasts that I've been doing, the What Makes You Famous podcast, where I get to interview people, hashtag What Makes You Famous, and then the What Makes You Smarter podcast, where I learn stuff. And since I'm learning stuff, I might as well pop that microphone open and teach some other people some stuff. If you care to take the journey with me. Yeah. If you're listening to the audio portion of this show, I encourage you to check out the video portion of the show. Go to YouTube, and I think you're supposed to look up RadioWhat.com. I've been I've been sending people to username KeysDAN, which is right, but I changed the title of my YouTube page to RadioWhat.com to make it more, I guess, in tune with the broadcasting side of me. Yeah. If you're watching the video version, I have the background. It's kind of a purple lightning storm behind me. So yeah, there is that. I hear there's going to be a lot of rain this week in Arkansas, where I'm transmitting from, Conway, Arkansas. I've heard that there's going to be rain. So watch out for that. Be careful, everybody. How was your 4th of July? Let's do that weekly roundup thing. See what's going on. Let's see how the week started for me. Well, it's podcasts, lots and lots of podcasts over the week. Been doing, talking to different various people. If you haven't taken a look at it yet, taken a listen, I encourage you to check out I guess it's all on the KeysDAN Show, anchor.fm/KeysDAN Show podcast. I'm putting the What Makes You Famous anchor to the wayside. I'm going to put everything on KeysDAN Show to make it easier on myself. I'll still use the hashtag What Makes You Famous if I'm doing an interview podcast, or I'll use the What Makes You Smarter if I'm doing a learning podcast. And then for this weekly thing that I've been doing, it's hashtag KeysDAN Show. Yeah, so we got lots of hashtags out there. Make it easy for the kids to find all the good stuff, all the good content that I've been putting out there. I do love learning from people. I love picking people's brains and finding out more about them. So yes, thank you to the people that go on the journey with me and take a listen to the sound of my voice as I'm spouting off various things. So thank you. Won't you join me? Let's see. If you're listening to this right now, as I record this live, 6 p.m. Central Time, I put it out on my KeysDAN personal page, Facebook page, and it's also on my YouTube page, the aforementioned RadioWhat.com KeysDAN user Facebook page. I think the header is RadioWhat.com. I'm going to try not to change that header. That way it's easy to find forever and ever. I was thinking about changing it to all the different links to different podcasts that I have, but I think if I just leave it RadioWhat.com, people could find it that way. Also, it's on my Twitch. Yeah, something new. I added the feed to my Twitch, trying to get some Twitch viewers, Twitch listeners, twitch.tv/KeysDAN. Check that out. Yeah. And why am I on Twitch? That gaming site. Well, I started doing some video gaming to pass the time away. It can't all be talking to people and work all the time. Got to have some playtime, some downtime. And what better way? Well, I guess there are better ways to spend your time than wasting it on video games. But I used to like video games. I still like video games, and I think I'm starting to fall for them all over again. I started playing. Let's see, I have my list of games here that I got from primarily from Steam, but I did get one from Riot Games. That one was Valorant. Valorant. I found that through um, the Delirious Dads Gaming podcast. That's the game that they've been playing, and I'm starting to go through it. It's a first person shooter game. But in addition to that, I went to Steam and I got Dig Dug, Galaga, which I enjoy playing a little bit. I know it's kind of a time waster. You really don't win anything, but you win bragging rights. I got the high score on my own machine. So I played Galaga and Pac-Man, which I was never very good at, but it came in a bundle with Galaga and Dig Dug, so I got that too. And then Battle Tank Legends of World War II. I don't know why I got it. I think because it was free. So I might play some of that a little bit. Battle Tech, one of the Mech Warrior games that I enjoy. Uh, I still, I don't think I'm getting very good at it. I'm trying to use the keyboard and the mouse to play that game. I'd much rather have a game that I can use a joystick or my Xbox controller on. That it seems like that one's so much easier, so much more fun if I can do it with the controller. It fits in my hands and I can watch the things work. Now, the latest game that I got, well, I got two of them probably around the same time. Destiny 2. I had never heard of that game, but the price was right on Steam, so I got Destiny 2. That's a 90 gig plus game to download. So it took a little bit to download. I think I first started downloading it, I don't know, last week, and it kept pausing and pausing because I had other things to do. So I finally got it downloaded and totally worth it. My goodness, I haven't even scratched the surface of that game, and it already has me sucked in. I'm shooting all kinds of I don't know, robots, aliens. I don't know what they are. They're they're trying to battle me for equipment and stuff. It's supposedly, I guess, it's in the future. It's set in some kind of dystopian future where I'm getting led around by this little light. It's called, I guess, is a ghost, or maybe I'm a ghost. One of those two. Either I'm a ghost or they're a ghost. It's still kind of early for me on the game, so I'm kind of excited about playing that one. Destiny 2, since it had so many gigs to download, it must mean to me, it feels like to me that it's a pretty extensive world. So I'm kind of stoked to check that out, see more of Destiny 2 and Doom. I know I'm kind of late in the game to be getting into Doom, but I could see what all the hype was. Getting in there, just shooting zombies, lots of bright lights, pow, pow, pow. You shoot the zombies, grab the ammunition, get the health, get their different equipment that falls to the ground, and keep on going. So I started playing Doom a little bit today. That was kind of cool. Mech Warrior Online. That was a game that I was really into back at the turn of the millennium, the turn of the century, the turn of the millennium. I started playing some Mech Warrior using one of those big giant Logitech joysticks, and thankfully I'm able to use my Xbox controller to play that one a little bit. So yeah, I think that one's gonna be on my list of things to achieve. MSI Electricity Core Assault. I don't know. I guess that came with my MSI computer. I really can't figure out what it is. Maybe I'm trying to shoot the core of my computer. Hopefully not literally. I also got Pinball Arcade. That was kind of fun. I could use that on the keyboard. Not such a big deal. And I was playing pinball. I think I played the Ghostbusters game last week. So if you look through the Twitch feeds, you'll see my Ghostbuster playing. RoboCraft. It's another kind of Mech Warrior game where I'm in a robot suit. Star Trek Online. Now I haven't played much of that one. I think I turned it on and I see that I'm on the Enterprise, but that's about it. I haven't really delved into it. And the Orville was probably about the same as the Star Trek Online, where it was kind of like it's called the Orville Interactive Fan Experience. And I guess it's just a virtual tour of the Orville. If anybody hasn't seen that Seth MacFarlane show, the Orville, I encourage you, check it out. It's a pretty good show. My family likes it. And I'm looking, I think I'm going to pick up Well, I know I'm also late to the game again for Fortnite. I might check that out. I was watching some of the gameplay a little earlier, and it looks fun. It looks like a lot of fun. Believe the hype. So Fortnite, and then my buddy Jason said I should try Red Dead Redemption 2, another shooter game. So I might check that one out. I didn't even know there was a Red Dead Redemption 1, but I've heard good things. Now, one of my one of my associates, I can't quite call him a friend, but I know I see him quite often. He said I should play this game Rust, and I said, "Well, tell me about the game." And he says, "Well, you start off naked." And I went, "I'm listening." And he said, "You have to get tools. You get some wood. You get some stones. You build an axe. You start building things." And I said, "Sounds like Naked Minecraft. Is it Naked Minecraft?" He goes, "No, no. The resolution's a lot better." So, I checked out some of the gameplay on Rust, and sure enough, it's a naked dude just building stuff. I hope the guy gets some clothes, and for his sake, he might get a little cold, get some of these viruses that are going around. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm chitter chattering. I had such a good week, such a fun week. Like I said, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Usually, I try to keep the podcast down to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't want them to take over my whole life, but certainly Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. I've been doing podcast, and then I put them out just a little bit afterwards. I mean, yeah, I guess I could go live with them if somebody was inclined to do that, but I want to give them the opportunity to be able to edit any little piece out. I don't like to edit a lot when I do the podcast. It's mostly raw, but at least I can cut the little beginning and end parts. That way you're not stuck listening to a lot of dead air. And then when I put the audio out, at least I cut the dead air portions, the breaths. Yeah, using my Adobe Audition software makes it pretty easy to cut all the breaths. I only recently just learned that, and I've been using Adobe Audition for almost 20 years. When it was cool at it, I used it way back then, and I didn't realize there was an automatic cut the dead silence out. Yeah, there is. And if you want to know how to do it, you just ask me. You can call me on the phone, 501-470-6386. And you can ask me whatever. I'm here to teach. I'm here to help people along their ways. That's what we're supposed to be doing. It's helping people. you know, don't keep all that information to yourself. A lot of people, well, including myself when I was younger, I thought I had to keep all that info to myself or else I wouldn't get ahead. I would render myself useless or unneeded. But I realize now, if you help everybody else out, eventually it's going to come back around. They're going to help you. I don't think there's too many people that are all that selfish. All right. Well, as I'm recording this on Sunday, July 5th, 2020, I'm looking at the days of the year calendar, and I see that it is, oh my goodness, making me hungry already. It's Apple Turnover Day. Apple Turnover Day. Turnovers are just amazing. And delightful fruit-filled cups of flavor coated in a sugary glaze. There's something special about what basically amounts to a little personal-sized fruit pie. And our favorite pie is the apple. Yeah, I'll go with apple. That's what makes Apple Turnover Day so amazing. It's dedicated to ensuring that everyone gets their own little slice in the form of a whole apple turnover. History of Apple Turnover Day. Turnovers are a simple confection, essentially defined by their name. While you can have a turnover made with all sorts of ingredients, including just about any kind of meat, dessert turnovers are easily our favorite kind. Yeah, I agree. I've had meat pies before, but I like the stuff with the desserts in there. Yeah, please. We all know that the sign of a good pie is a flaky crust, but turnovers take flaky to a whole other level. How to celebrate Apple Turnover Day? Well, duh. The best way to celebrate Apple Turnover Day is to get down and make your own apple turnovers. No, it's to go to the store and go get some. All right. So we provided a recipe for that very purpose. Give it a shot. And once you've got this down, go wild. Who knows what kind of turnovery? Yes, that's a word. We say so. Confections you'll come up with. The best apple turnovers. 2 tablespoons lemon juice. 4 cups plus 1 tablespoon water. 4 apples. Granny Smith is the best? Okay, take your word for it. 2 tablespoons butter. 1 cup dark brown sugar. 1 teaspoon cinnamon. 1 tablespoon cornstarch. 1 package frozen puff pastry. 1 teaspoon 1 tablespoon milk. 1 teaspoon vanilla. Start off by peeling, coring, and slicing the apples. You can use any kind you want, but Granny Smith's provide a delightful tartness. Then combine the lemon, water, and apple slices in a bowl. Ensure the apple slices are covered. Then take the butter and melt it down in a large skillet. Drain the apples and throw them into the skillet for 2 minutes before adding the brown sugar and cinnamon. And then continue stirring for 2 more minutes. At this point, you're going to want to add 1 tablespoon of water and cornstarch and add to the skillet. Yeah, there you go. Cook until the sauce has become thick and stir until the apples are covered. Begin preheating your oven to 400 degrees while you unfold the pastry sheets and cut each sheet into 4 equal squares. Put a spoonful of apples in the middle of each square and fold the pastry over to enclose it, sealing the edges by pressing. Then place them on a cookie sheet approximately an inch apart. While they're in the oven, mix together the confectioner's sugar, vanilla, and milk and blend. Then drizzle over the apple turnovers once they've finished 25 minutes in the oven and have cooled. Enjoy! It's apple turnover day. You know, I like some sweets. I like it. Have you seen me? If you know me, you know I like some sweets. Get me some. Hanging out on a Sunday on the KeysDAN Show. Hey, if you want to be a part of it, you can call me right now, and you can have your voice heard right here on the KeysDAN Show. 501-470-6386. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And if you put some comments down there on my KeysDAN page while I'm recording this, I might say something like Ruth Ann Downs gave a like. So thank you for the like. I appreciate. Thank you very much. Continuing on, what else is going on today in the world, KeysDAN? What's going on? Oh, hey, what came up on the days of year calendar? Why am I so excited? July 5th, 2020. It's Bikini Day. Yeah, Bikini Day. Bikini Day is the anniversary of the invention of the bikini in 1946 by a Parisian fashion designer, Louis Reard, Reard. The goal of this holiday is to get to the closest beach or find some cheap travel deals to the Philippines, Bali, Hawaii, or anywhere with lots of beach and spend the day in your bikini. Yeah, I think I'm going to get my bikini on right now. Wouldn't that be a sight? Old KeysDAN hanging out in his bikini. All right, Bikini Day. I'm down. I enjoy that celebration. I like a good bikini. Uh, all right, settling down. My 14-year-old self out there, settling down. Today is also Mechanical Pencil Day. All the geeks out there say, yeah, Mechanical Pencil Day. July 5th. Mechanical pencils have so many uses in the workplace. People use pencils every day to calculate payroll, write letters, and complete their work. Students, especially, use them in schools to do their homework and get good grades. You see that? That was like low key. Get good grades, do your homework. While much of the world has moved towards digital format, mechanical pencils make writing and design easier than ever before. Mechanical Pencil Day celebrates the history of these pencils and encourages people to celebrate mechanical pencils and their many uses in our daily lives. History of the Mechanical Pencil Day. Pencils were created around the time that graphite deposits were being discovered in Europe during the early 16th century. The first primitive design of the pencil was invented in 1565 by Conrad Gesner, a naturalist and bibliographer from Switzerland. These pencils were graphite sticks wrapped in string and later were designed with wood so it can be sharpened. The first mechanical pencil that had tools to move the lead instead of manually sharpening the lead was patented in 1822 by Samson Morden and John Isaac Hawkins in Britain. From there, multiple companies begin mass producing mechanical pencils. Mechanical pencils now operate by three principal types of methods: ratchet based, clutch based, and screw based. Today, mechanical pencils have different varieties of lead with and have multiple frames, including plastic, metal, and wood. These pencils are used for writing, but can also be used for art and design. Due to the slick nature of the mechanical pencil, people now have the ability to create fine details and don't have to use a pencil sharpener. Mechanical Pencil Day celebrates the history of mechanical pencils and how it is today used in workplaces and schools all over the world. All over the world. People celebrate the holiday by collecting antique mechanical, mechanical pencils, reading up on the history of these pencils, and appreciating its uses in daily life. How to celebrate Mechanical Pencil Day. Celebrate Mechanical Pencil Day by reading up on the inventors of these fantastic pencils. Read up on the story of different companies such as Bic, Papermate, and Pentel. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. One of these 3 is not around anymore. Never heard of Pentel, but I have heard of Bic and Papermate. Take the time today to use mechanical pencils in whatever field of work you do. Give out pencils to your local schools for free and help students get through their schools easier. Also, give them out to your friends and family. Tell your friends and family about this holiday and educate them about the history of mechanical pencils. Yeah, I want you to go out right now. Well, if you can, during this quarantine COVID thing. But yeah, give out as many pencils as you can. Here, it's Mechanical Pencil Day. Have a mechanical pencil. Nerd. I love it. I love it. Use those mechanical pencils. Get that good school work. All right, that's about it on the days of the year calendar. Let's see what's going on the History Channel. Oh yeah, the History Channel, history.com. I usually find on this date in history, and on this date in history, there it is, the bikini introduced. Going back to the bikini, 14-year-old self. Okay. On July 5th, 1946, French designer Louis Riard unveils a daring two-piece swimsuit at the Piscine Molitor, a popular swimming pool in Paris. Parisian showgirl Micheline Bernardini modeled the new fashion, which Riard dubbed bikini, inspired by a newsmaking U.S. atomic test that took place off the Bikini Atoll in the Pacific Ocean earlier that week. It's amazing. It's amazing how things get their name sometimes. Had nothing to do with the Bikini Atoll or the nuclear bomb. but he said, "Hey, bikini, that sounds like a great name for my new two-piece suit." European women first began wearing two-piece bathing suits that consisted of a halter top and shorts in the 1930s, but only a sliver of the midriff was revealed and the navel was vigilantly covered. I remember watching I Dream of Jeannie, and I remember one of the scandals was she had to have her midriff covered. I think that was part of the deal. I don't remember if I ever saw her midriff or if she showed her belly button. It probably had a rock or a gem inside of it. But I digress. In the United States, the modest two piece made its appearance during WW2, that's World War II, when wartime rationing of fabric saw the removal of the skirt panel and other superfluous material. Meanwhile, in Europe, fortified coastlines and allied invasions curtailed beach life during the war, and swimsuit development, like everything else non military, came to a standstill. In 1946, Western Europeans joyously greeted the first war free summer in years, and French designers came up with fashions to match the liberated mood of the people. Two French designers, Jacques Heim and Louis Riard, developed competing prototypes of the bikini. Heim called his the Atom. Another reference to the Bikini Atoll and the atom bomb. Yikes. And advertised it as, quote, the world's smallest bathing suit. Riard's swimsuit, which was basically a bra top and two inverted triangles of cloth connected by a string, was in fact significantly smaller, made out of a scant 30 inches of fabric. Riard promoted his creation as smaller than the world's smallest bathing suit. So there. Riard called his creation the Bikini, named after the Bikini Atoll. It's amazing how things get named. So yes, today is Bikini Day. And it makes sense. I mean, it makes sense that it's in July, but it makes even more sense that it's here, here in the summertime and right after the war, well, WW2, World War II. People I guess there was limits on how much cloth was available, but they wanted to celebrate that they can go to the beach. And what better way to celebrate than to work on your tan? I know that that's controversial, working on your tan, being out there in the sun all day long, wearing a bikini. It could be bad for your skin, but for me, hey, it's good. Get that vitamin D, get that good natural goodness from the sun. Feel it, feel the heat, feel the warmth on your body. I like it. I like it. It's Bikini Day. All right. Well, I mean, and then as we're here on Sunday. How's your Sunday been? Are you doing okay? I know I'm kind of rambling a little bit, talking about what's going on, news of the day, what day it is. I like that website, the daysoftheyear.com, because every day of the year is at least one thing. And today it happened to be three things: mechanical pencil day, uh, apple turnover day, and of course bikini day. And then the history.com, I like that one too, because there's always something on this date in history, today in history. But I mean, besides the fact that History Channel is a wonderful, wonderful place to go and view some good stuff. Get your learn about history, and learn about history, or you're doomed to repeat it. I know I didn't say that first, but it's one of my favorite sayings. All the people that are toppling over all the history that's going on today, toppling over all the statues, the monuments, and people eventually, and burning books for that matter. People eventually are going to forget that history. Oh my goodness. And then they're going to be doomed to repeat it. Don't do it. Don't erase the history. Teach the kids. Teach the next generation about history. Learn a little bit more about history. I know it's already probably too late for some of that history. It's gone forever. So let's do our best to preserve the history that we got right now. Please, please do. Any thoughts on that? Anybody? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Anyone? You know, I think about, the stuff that I learned in school that's not being taught right now. I don't have any examples, but hey, maybe you can comment in, chime in, drop me some comments if you're listening to this after I've recorded it already, or if you're watching the live stream on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and I think maybe even LinkedIn. I don't know, LinkedIn. It said, "Do you want to add LinkedIn to your streaming?" Sure, why not? Click, no problem. The ones I mainly look at are the Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Definitely looking at the Twitch. Want to get that Twitch followership up and get my Twitch on. But there's I want to know what you think about what's going on with the people toppling over all these monuments. I know it's the far right or the far left that's causing all the problems. Most of the people live right down here, right down the middle, and want to and want that history to be preserved, and want the ability to learn from the mistakes of others and the achievements of others. We're living on the shoulders of giants. That is definitely you got to build on other people's achievements. I can't achieve everything on my own. I don't know. I didn't build this broadcast equipment that I'm broadcasting on. I didn't build this computer that I am currently working on. I didn't even build this microphone that I'm currently speaking into and the camera that I'm looking into. But I'm very happy that those people were out there. They learned and built upon other people's achievements, and it just keeps getting better and better. So don't erase the past because we're going to forget it. I think of the Romans, the ancient Romans. They forgot all the achievements that they built. They forgot how to do a lot of the things that they were doing. They were building roads way back when, and that's no small feat to build a workable road that will be easier on your equipment, on your animals that you're riding. So yeah, the don't lose it. Don't lose your history. It's important. It's important to keep it. All right, today we have 10 things you need to know today. There are 10 things you need to know today while I'm sitting here. Might as well learn some things, teach some things. 10 things you need to know today for Sunday, July 5th, 2020. Number one, and I know a lot of it's going to be coronavirus, COVID related. It's out there. It's out there. Still doesn't have a cure. So be vigilant. Florida's new daily high in coronavirus cases, just shy of New York's record. Florida on Saturday recorded another daily high in coronavirus infections. The state's 11,458 new cases, just shy of New York State's one-day record of 11,571 positive tests in April. Texas also set a new state record, tallying 8,258 newly confirmed cases, while it also registered an all-time high in the number of people hospitalized with COVID-19 for the sixth straight day. Health experts are concerned that celebrations during the fourth weekend will exacerbate the problems in several states that are already dealing with a number of cases and positive test rates. While the surge in cases in some states mirror what happened in New York earlier this year, the average daily COVID-19 death toll in the U.S. has continued to decline, perhaps because younger, healthier people are making up a larger percent of those infected. But there are concerns that trend won't hold. This is according to Politico and Reuters. All right. Hey, how's it in your neck of the woods? You still wearing a mask? I wear a mask if I have to, if I got people that are requiring me to. I got my kerchief. In fact, I got my kerchief right here in front of me, my purple kerchief. I'll put that up over my face if it makes you feel better. And studies have shown a little protection over the face is better than no protection over the face. So I'm not saying that it won't hold back viruses. I'm just saying I'm not that scared of the virus, but maybe I should be. Maybe I should be. I'm no scientist. I'm moronic. I have very little medical knowledge that I have kept over the years. So yes, wear a mask if people require you to. Don't fight them too much. Don't make fun of people that are wearing masks. If you want to get into a discussion about it, don't. Don't. They're wearing a mask not just for their protection, but your protection as well. And if it makes them feel better, hey, maybe they have an immune deficiency that you don't know about. Maybe they have breathing problems, which can be may or may not be exacerbated by the wearing of a mask. But hey, that's a whole nother story. What do you think? I always want your comments. I always want your feedback. You can call me right now, 501-470-6386, or you can email info@radiowhat.com. That's the same number and email address to keep if you want to be interviewed by me, long form interviewed on the What Makes You Famous podcast. I'm enjoying those long form interviews. And, a lot of people ask me, how long does it take to do an interview or to do a podcast on the What Makes You Famous podcast? I never put a time limit on there. The longest one went about 3 hours and 45 minutes, but for the most part, I think maybe I have a handful that went over 3 hours. Most of them take an hour to an hour and a half. And then, you've told a good portion of your story as it is right now, and you can always come back and update if you have any updates in the future. I encourage that. I appreciate talking to people and then catching up with people down the line. I've had quite a few repeat customers on the What Makes You Famous podcast. Yeah. All right. Number 2 on the 10 things you need to know today. Trump vows to defeat radical left in White House Independence Day speech. Just one day after his divisive speech at Mount Rushmore, President Trump on Saturday delivered a similar Independence Day address, this time at the White House, in which he said his administration was, quote, in the process of defeating the radical left, end quote, amid nationwide protests against police brutality and systemic racism, which have included efforts to remove numerous statues and monuments. Quote, we will never allow let me back up there. Quote, we will never allow an angry mob to tear down our statues, erase our history, indoctrinate our children, or trample on our freedoms, end quote. He said to an audience that included frontline medical workers and others central in responding to the coronavirus pandemic. Trump did touch on the pandemic in his speech as well, defending his administration's response and expressing optimism that, quote, we've learned to put out the flame, end quote, despite a record-setting rise in daily infections in states like Florida and Texas. This is according to the Associated Press and the New York Times. All right, man, like him or don't like him, President Trump, he makes some good points here. He definitely does. Don't tear down the statues. Don't erase our history. I know I just said that. And here I'm just reading that on the 10 things you need to know today. That's pretty smart. Don't erase the history. It's important to know what we did right and what we did wrong, in making this fine country of ours, the greatest country in the world. I truly believe that. If you think you got it bad here in the US of A, just look around and listen to some of the other countries, their downfalls. Just watch the news on what's going on around the world. Yeah, we got some countries that got their health care, right, and they got their schooling right, free health care, free schooling. You call it free. I'm going to put quotation marks around it. Free, not quite free. You still got to pay lots and lots of taxes to get those free items. So, yeah, there's more to it than, how come that country's got free healthcare? How come that country's got free school? Well, because they pay a whole lot more taxes, and there's a whole lot less people that they have to deal with. I think I was having a discussion yesterday. If they went state by state, you can probably do it a little bit easier, even city by city. Have different cities that collect their taxes and pay for various things that are important to that city or that county or that state. And then eventually we'll get all the services that we need instead of paying for the services that we don't need. And every state, every person in America needs to figure out what those services are and then vote on them, and then put them to, take them to your local government and make suggestions. Do it. Be a part of the solution. Yeah, I've heard that before. Be a part of the solution. All right, don't erase the history. Don't erase the history. Number 3, Seattle protester dies after car drives into crowd on closed freeway. One person was killed and another has been hospitalized and remains in serious condition after a car drove onto a closed freeway during a protest against police brutality in Seattle, Washington, early Saturday. The victim, 24-year-old Summer Taylor, died Saturday evening at Harbor View Medical Center, a hospital spokeswoman said. Washington State Patrol said Saturday that the driver, a 27-year-old man, is in custody. Police have not offered a motive yet, but the suspect was not impaired. At a news conference Saturday, Captain Ron Mead did not explain how the driver bypassed a police closure to reach the victims, but he said he hopes the incident will mean protesters, quote, reconsider their desire to be on the interstate, end quote, because, quote, I cannot guarantee their safety, plain and simple, end quote. This is according to Axios and NPR. That makes a whole lot of sense. Protesters, don't protest on the highway. I mean, I know you're trying to get your word across, your views across, but be safe about it. Stay on the sidewalk, for crying out loud. Head up to the your Capitol Hill and go protest on the steps. Stay off the streets. People, I don't want you to get hurt. I definitely don't want you to get hurt. Minimize the chances that you're going to get hurt. Don't walk down the freeway, down the interstate. Don't you do it. You got big trucks out there. You got cars out there, whether they meant to hit you or not. You still got traffic out there. So be safe out there. I know that a peaceful protest is the way to go to get your voice heard. It's been doing some good things, but then there's a whole lot of bad things. Can I point fingers at who it is? I'm not sure. I think it's the far left. I think it's the far right. The people down the middle are primarily doing some peaceful protesting, trying to get trying to get some satisfaction for the things that the things that are bugging them, the problems that we're having in this fine country of ours. All right, party people, let us continue the 10 things you need to know today. Number 4, at least 2 dead. Oh, more bad news. At least 2 dead, 8 injured in South Carolina nightclub shooting. At least 2 people were killed and 8 others injured after a shooting early Sunday at a nightclub in Greenville, South Carolina. The surviving victims are reportedly in, quote, various, end quote, conditions. A deputy with the Greenville County Sheriff's Office initially responded to a disturbance at the club before the Greenville Police Department and the South Carolina Highway Patrol arrived. There are no suspects in custody, and investigators reportedly remain on the scene, though the sheriff's office said it has, quote, some suspect information, end quote. The nightclub was hosting a, quote, very, very, very large crowd, end quote, for a concert when the shooting occurred, Greenville County Sheriff Hobart Lewis said. This is according to ABC News and CNN. Who did the shooting? My goodness. That's not what your guns are supposed to be for. It's for hunting primarily. That's what your guns are for. And then protection. Not going off to go shoot people at a club. Come on, people. That's why the people are, whether you like guns or don't like guns, it's the nation. It's the right of the people to own guns. But if they're going to be doing this kind of stupid stuff with guns, they're going to have questions posed to them, as in, should you have a gun? If you're going to go shoot up a club, no, you shouldn't have a gun. If you're going to go shoot up a club, dummies, You're going to get your guns taken away from you. Don't do it. Hunting, protection. That's it. Look, hunting with the thumb, protection with the finger. Look, I made a little gun. That's the only reason you should have a gun. Of course, I'm virtually shooting people on my video games. So there. That's why I have a gun in the video games. All right. Don't do stupid stuff with your guns. You're going to get them taken away. That's how the side that doesn't want the guns gets their point across. Look what he did with his gun. Look what he did, dummy. All right. Number 5 on the 10 things you need to know today. Ethiopia protest death toll rises to 166. More bad news? Do I have any good news on these 10 things? I don't know. I haven't even looked it over. At least 166 people have died during protests in Ethiopia, sparked by the murder of pop star, and I know I'm going to mess this up. There's way too many vowels in here. Hakalu Hundisa. Hakalu Hundisa on Monday, a pop star. Most of the deaths occurred in the Oromia region where 145 demonstrators and 11 security personnel were killed. Another 10 deaths occurred in Ethiopia's capital, Addis Ababa. Oh, okay. Jibril Mohammed, head of the Oromia Security and Peace Bureau, said more deaths could be reported. Officials have attributed the deaths to a combination of lethal force by security officers and inter-ethnic violence. And here's that name again. Hakalu. Maybe I got to pronounce all. Ha'akalu. There's 2 A's, and 2 U's. A member of the Oromo ethnic group whose music dealt with Oromo's sense of political and economic hardship was shot and killed by unknown attackers earlier this week in Addis Ababa, heightening ethnic tensions. It's according to Reuters and Al Jazeera. Too much of this in the world, too much violence. Is it good for me to be looking at this all the time? Is it better that I looked up at least the good stuff that's going on today, the bikinis and the mechanical pencil and the Apple turnover? Yeah, it's better that I look that up first. And give me the good news first. Give me the bad news last. I guess that's the way I'm doing it right now, right here on the KeysDAN show. Sunday. Number 6. Okay. Well, let's do this one. Biden urges Americans to rip the roots of systemic race out of U.S. in July 4th message. Former Vice President Joe Biden, the presumptive Democratic presidential nominee, on Saturday delivered an Independence Day message calling on Americans to commit to finally, end quote, fulfilling the goals of the Declaration of Independence. Biden said the U.S. was founded on the idea, quote, that all men are created equal, end quote, but, quote, we've never lived up to it, end quote. From there, Biden's short video took an optimistic turn as he claimed, quote, we have a chance to rip the roots of systemic racism out of this country, end quote, and, quote, live up to the words that founded this nation, end quote. Former vice president did not mention his likely future opponent, President Trump, by name. This is according to The Hill and the Slate. Yeah, I think I went over that yesterday while I was doing my KeysDAN show yesterday, my special Saturday edition. I was feeling my oats, so I did a 4th of July edition of the KeysDAN show, and I was talking a little bit about how the nation was formed on these words. Thomas Jefferson primarily wrote all these words, but he himself was a slave owner through his whole life. Or throughout his adult life, he owned slaves till the day he died. He had slaves, even though the jury's out on whether he felt bad about it. He owned slaves, but he felt really, really bad about it. Yeah. So even though he wrote the words, all men are created equal, he did not put it into practice. Yeah, practice. Just talking about practice. All right. Number 7 on the 10 things we need to know today. Activists' books now unavailable in Hong Kong public libraries. Online records show books written by prominent Hong Kong pro-democracy activists are no longer available in the city's public libraries shortly after China passed a new national security law that severely limits Hong Kong's autonomy. Hong Kong's Leisure and Cultural Services Department said it will review whether certain books that violate the stipulations. Oh, okay. That was a quote. Quote, review whether certain books that violate the stipulations, quote, end quote, of the law, which aims to root out secessionist activity, subversion, terrorism, and collusion with foreign forces following several months of anti-government, pro-democracy protest in the city. While China has maintained the legislation won't curtail freedom of speech, critics believe it will lead to widespread censorship. This is according to the Agence France Presse and Reuters. Hong Kong, autonomy, probably no more. So sad, so sad. It seemed like the people of Hong Kong were enjoying their freedoms and enjoying a modicum of autonomy, but now, not anymore. Not anymore. Looks like they're under Chinese rule. I mean, however good or bad that might be. I'm not Chinese. I've never been to China. I don't know how people live in China. All I know is what gets reported, that the Chinese are oppressed. The Chinese aren't treated the way, well, the way we think, or the way that I think they should be treated. Should have those freedoms to do pretty much anything you want, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody. Freedom. That's what we celebrated yesterday, whether it was on the right day or not. You know, was yesterday the right day to celebrate Independence Day? Were we independent on July 4th, 1776? No, not really. But that's the day that those words were ratified. The life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, all men are created equal, all that kind of thing. But yeah. All right, as I go through on a Sunday evening, Sunday. It's when I record these, 6 p.m. Central Time. You can be a part of it if you want to, 501-470-6386. I'll pipe your voice through, and you can be a part of the show. Do it. Go ahead, do it. Also, that's the number you need to keep if you want to be on the KeysDAN show, or you want to call me and you want to book me for a DJ service. Yeah, you got a party coming up? I'll do it. I'll play the music, video dance parties, karaoke jams. You know, those are my specialties, and weddings. Weddings. I love the weddings. All right, number 8 on the 10 things you need to know today. Scientists to send open letter to WHO challenging stance on coronavirus transmission. Researchers are planning to publish an open letter to the World Health Organization next week, outlining evidence that smaller coronavirus particles can infect people, the New York Times reports. The letter, which will reportedly be signed by 239 scientists in 32 countries, will challenge the agency's view that the virus is spread primarily by large respiratory droplets that fall quickly to the ground after infected people cough or sneeze. The Times spoke with several experts who believe the WHO's stance that the virus isn't airborne is misguided. Researchers say studies have shown that coronavirus aerosols can indeed hang in the air for longer periods of time and float dozens of feet, meaning people can become infected by inhaling the particles. The WHO said the theories remain unconvincing and are based on lab experiments rather than field evidence. This is according to the New York Times and the Los Angeles Times. Yeah, what do you think? Scientists, 239 of those scientists are challenging what the WHO has been reporting. They think it's all, giant droplets. The WHO has been saying, oh, this is big giant droplets when people cough. or sneeze, those gigantic droplets that fall right to the ground. And the scientists are challenging that. They're saying, no, 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 it's smaller. It's smaller droplets that'll hang in the air for a while. You know, travel quite a bit, maybe even more than that 6 feet of distance that people are getting are social distancing themselves. Yeah. All right. We'll know more as time progresses. You know, that's what history does for you. It teaches you about things that happened before. So learn your history. Have I made that a through theme for this podcast? I think I have. I think I have. Number 9 on the 10 things you need to know today. National Park employees were not required to get tested for coronavirus before Mount Rushmore event. The National Park Service said it did not require employees who worked during the Independence Day celebration Friday night at Mount Rushmore in South Dakota to get tested for the coronavirus, CNN reports. The gathering, which President Trump attended and spoke at, was controversial because social distancing was not enforced despite the pandemic. Some Park Service staff reportedly did wear masks, and face coverings were available to all employees, but not mandatory. Quote, none of the incident management team members for the event have reported exhibiting any symptoms or feeling unwell, end quote. Agency spokesperson Dana Sowen said Saturday. They have been encouraged to, quote, conduct daily self-monitoring for symptoms of COVID-19, end quote, Sowen said. This is according to CNN. Number 10. Finally, a fun one. A fun one. Kanye West says he's running for president. President Yee. Kanye West on Saturday tweeted that he will run for president in 2020. The rapper, who has expressed support for President Trump in the past, said he would make a White House bid in 2020 during the 2015 MTV Music Awards. But last year, he said he would wait until 2024. Supposedly, he's gone back to the original plan, saying, quote, we must now realize the promise of America by trusting God, unifying our vision, and building our future. End quote. It's unclear whether West is really going to run, although his wife, Kim Kardashian, retweeted the message. Tesla CEO Elon Musk told West he has his, quote, full support, end quote. Just a full disclosure, I also retweeted the message on my Radio What Twitter. Yeah, I did. Radio What Twit. It's out there. It's out there. I'm all for it, man. Go. Do it. Do it. Things couldn't get any crazier. Could they? Could they? 2020. Oh, yeah. By the way, that news report was according to the BBC and the Hollywood Reporter. And of course, Kanye West's own personal Twitter. It's out there. It's out there. Yee! President Yee in 2020. It could happen. Oh, my goodness. Let me know what you think. What do you think? That is 10 things you need to know today for Sunday, July 5th, 2020. Sunday, July 5th, 2020. 10 things you need to know today. Oh, my goodness. Such a day. And just like, 2020 has just been a topsy-turvy, fun roller coaster of a ride, hasn't it? And it's not over yet. It's not over yet. Oh, my goodness. What do you see on the horizon? I want your feedback. I want to know what you think. This isn't all about me. It's about you too. I say some stuff and then you tell me what you think of said stuff. And that's how conversations get put forth. I think I'm going to go have a conversation right now. I know, see, and I didn't even talk about what happened this last week. I did the podcast, and then Friday night I was at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. Great times. I mean, I'm so happy that the Rab is still open and it has opened back up for quite a few weeks now. We've had the video dance party, karaoke jam. They have it now to where, people are wearing masks when they come in. Masks are provided. There's plenty of sanitizer, and I have plenty of handy wipes to wipe the microphones down, wipe your hands down. And we're taking precautions to make sure that nobody gets sick. Although, if you're feeling sick, if you have a low immunity system, I encourage you to stay home. You know, I have no problems with you staying home during this time. When we get a cure, and I know I say when, not if and when we get a cure or some kind of a treatment for this novel COVID-19 coronavirus, then everybody come on back out and play with us. But for now, hey, if you're feeling strong, if you're feeling good, come on out to the Rab and play. Friday nights, I'll be there again this Friday night at 8 p.m. Kind of excited about that. Yeah. And then on Saturday night, I'm at the Choctaw VFW Saturday night. I think that one starts at 9. Usually I'm there about 8 o'clock, all set up, but usually around 9 o'clock we start cooking. You know, it's the video dance party karaoke jam. Now the Rab and the Choctaw VFW, they're both big, giant rooms with good air handlers. I don't feel um, unsafe being in there. Like if you're in a smaller restaurant, unfortunately, over at the Old Post Barbecue, which I love. Try their pulled pork; it's one of my favorites. And try the Dagwood if you feel up to it. The Old Post Barbecue in Russellville, Arkansas. I know I was doing karaoke shows over there, and I love those guys. And Ray Black and the gang, they're there to serve you. Can't say enough good things about them. But unfortunately, their place is a little small. So to do a karaoke show there and to have a bunch of people come on by, it's still a little early for that. Let's stay vigilant and know that there's this thing out there with no cure. So this week's shows, like I said, I'll be at the Rab, Conway, Arkansas, 8 p.m. until 1 in the a.m. Full bar, kitchen, the pool tournament going on every Friday nights. Be there. It's a great place to be. And then Saturday night at 9 p.m. I'll be at the Choctaw VFW. Yeah, party on. You've been working hard all week. What better way to spend your time than with your friends hanging out at the Rab and the Choctaw VFW Friday and Saturday night, respectively. With yours truly, Keys Dan. I'll be there. I'll be there playing music for the people. The people need to be entertained. And if you have a party that needs some entertainment, I encourage you, check out my website, keysdan.com. Now, usually I say djlittlerock.com, but for some reason, GoDaddy. That's the reason. For some reason, djlittlerock.com is down. Yep, still down. I guess I need to call them up and find out what's going on. But keysdan.com is up. You can check availability, get a free price quote, and you can have maybe you can have me at your next event. Yes, let me entertain you. Let me play the music for you. I'll try not to sing. But I have a good time at these parties. No, the hardest part about any of these parties, about being a mobile DJ, is setting up the equipment and then tearing down the equipment. While you're there playing for the people is a lot of fun, and I'll play pretty much whatever you want. If I got Wi-Fi, shoot, I'll download stuff, I'll buy stuff right there. But the setting up and the tearing down. I've been looking for a roadie since 1986. I haven't found anybody that's going to set the equipment up the way I want it. But I do work well with others. I'm happy to do it. Happy to be there. All right, party people. I've been hanging out here for over an hour. Now, like I said, this week I have a podcast Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So look for those. They'll be in your feeds, wherever you find podcasts. Hashtag what makes you famous. And then let's see. Oh, the gaming thing. Yeah, I'm still having fun doing the gaming thing. I guess I need to come up with a schedule on when I'm going to be doing the gaming, the streaming online. This way people can come and interact and be a part of it. And if I'm doing any kind of games that are interactive, that I can play with teams and people can join me on Twitch or on Steam, I definitely want that to happen. I want to get into those games like the oh my goodness, totally forgot the name of it, or the Valorant, and I think Mech Warrior might have online. Some of these games I have online that they have able to be played online, and since I have the equipment, the microphone, the headphones, and the gaming stuff on my PC. Might as well play with some other people, interact, get some knowledge, maybe learn how to play these games a little bit better. Old man learning technology, learning how to play the new games, trying to get some good downtime, having fun. All right, party people. Once again, please, if you want to be a part, of my interview process, if you want to be on the What Makes You Famous podcast, hashtag What Makes You Famous, I encourage you to give me a call at 501-470-6386 or email info@radiowhat.com. Or, yeah, come on by Sunday evening, 6 p.m. Central Time. I do these live KeysDAN shows. I invite you to be a part of the show. If you want to call in at those times, you could voice your opinion on whatever I'm talking about. I give you talking points. You tell me what you think of those talking points, and together we have a conversation. It's what I like to do. Pick people's brains. All right, party people. That's it for me. It's KeysDAN, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, KeysDAN.com. Peace. I'm out of here.